the reason we're having this event, the elephant in the room, is that there is hesitancy in the Black community about this vaccine and about medical healthcare and how it treats us in general. I think in order for us to make sure we have a full conversation, a conversation that's worthwhile, it'll be really great for us to address that. So I'd like to, why do you think the Black British community are so hesitant about this vaccine?
Yeah, I mean, and that's absolutely, I think you're absolutely right. And I think that's something that is often lacking, is that clearly we have identified that the Black community are the most hesitant. There was a study done in November last year, which is quite a while ago, and things have changed since then. But that showed that over 70% of people from the Black community responded to that, said they were unlikely to have the vaccine. They were the only ethnic group where the majority of people said they were unlikely. And I think it's all very well that, the government and the NHS and scientists are recognising that people from the Black community need more information. There is a lot of vaccine hesitancy, but it's also important that there's acknowledgement as towards the reasons, the very valid reasons why that is. And there's a really long, complex history when it comes to the Black community and the scientific medical community. There's a lot of distrust, and there's really good reasons why. And I think I tend to find that older members of our community are more suspicious than younger members, and that's perhaps because they remember or they're more aware of some of the issues. And I think there are a lot of people signed up to this event. A lot of my friends signed up who are my age or younger, and they'd signed up because they wanted to share this information with family members that they're concerned about who aren't sure about the vaccine. And I think it's important, therefore, that we all, young or old, we educate ourselves a little bit about this history. So I've written down a little list that I'll share with you of a few things that have happened in the past that are adding towards this very valid reason why people from our community have concerns. So if we go all the way back to the 19th century, there was an obstetrician called James Marion Sims, who you may have heard of. And this is a very long time ago, but it's quite traumatic as a Black woman to hear that he experimented essentially on Black women who were slaves, and learned how to do really important
surgery
operations, so that could benefit white women, but he experimented and often did it without anaesthesia. If we go more recently, there's a study, this was in America, called the Tuskegee study, and it was a syphilis study. And again, it was Black men that were enrolled in this study. And the United States Public Health Department wanted to see what would happen if people were left untreated with syphilis. So they signed up African American men because they believed they were going to get free treatment for their syphilis, and they left them untreated to see what happened to them. That's not that long ago, 1932 to 1972. And there's the story of Henrietta Lacks and her cells. So this is a story of she didn't consent for her cells to be used in research. And then if we go even to 1996, so there's been a lot of distrust, particularly around the Pfizer vaccine in some groups. And that's because even in just, 1996, this is in my lifetime, Pfizer did some studies in Nigeria. It was meningitis studies. It was a new antibiotic they were trying. And there were issues around consent there. And, they ended up paying out billions to families. So that's another one to look up, called the Truvan trial. And then just last year, 2020, a report came out saying that Black women are 4 times as likely to die in childbirth as white women. Asian women are twice. So there's a long, complex history, and there are really good reasons why people who are Black, they may not even know this science, but they've heard their families talking about it, do not trust the scientific community, do not trust the medical community. And now here we are asking them to trust it and have a vaccine. And that's really tricky. So it's really important that I follow that up with, I've researched it. As a medical professional, I'm very privileged that I get access to all of this information. And there really genuinely, in my opinion, is no reason for people from the Black community to be concerned about the safety of the vaccine, to be concerned that it's been in any way used experimentally on certain groups, or to be concerned that it won't work. As far as we know, this vaccine is as good for everybody, whatever your ethnicity, whatever your race, whatever your background. But I understand, and I think it's important to acknowledge that people have very justified reasons for being concerned and being hesitant, and we need to address that in order to help people move on and be able to be fully informed about making a decision about the vaccine.